Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smack Raw podcast.
Watch. Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Smack Raw podcast, AEW Dynamite recap edition. Like always on Wednesdays, we are your hosts, Kyle Tyson and Mr. Kevin Crazy with the corrected nameplate.
Yeah, about time.
About time, right? My bad, man.
I had to get my lawyer involved.
My bad. Okay, I didn't mean to. Now, granted, I probably could have got to fixing the issue a little bit quicker, but either way.
How many followers did I lose? How many goddamn followers? No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? They could have messaged us on YouTube or something. But anyways, yes, we are a wrestling recap show.
Hey, what's up, Jess?
Yeah,
by the
Jess
way,
is in the chat. I think I just found why my stream is lagging. That's true. We're a wrestling recap show. You can find us on twitch.tv/putting you over Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, covering Raw, AEW, Dynamite, and SmackDown. If you're looking to watch the official Smacked Raw takeover recap, you can go ahead. I mean, we'd love to keep you here, but you can just go hop on twitch.tv/SmackDraw podcast. You'll find that Katie and RN with a special guest, Kyle from the Apron Bump, are covering NXT's TakeOver Night 1 at the same time as us. We go head to head. But appreciate you guys. And of course, if you miss any live streams, don't forget to check us out on youtube.com/SmackDrawPodcast. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, so you, if you ever miss a stream, you can catch up. Also, yeah, definitely please subscribe. We just hit 230, man. Just hit 230.
So we going to the dentist.
What's that?
You ain't up on your dad jokes or subtlety. What?
Oh, shut up, Kev. You fucking dick.
Hey, man. 2:30.
What have you been up to, Kev? I feel like it's been a super long week.
Not really. I don't know.
How's
For me,
how's your WrestleMania week going?
So far, so good, man. I mean, fucking Raw was. It was.
Raw was something, wasn't it?
Katie and I had fun, but
you were messed up.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, I mean, how else can you get through Raw?
You know what? You have a point, my friend.
And then have to talk about it for an hour afterwards, for Christ's sake.
Jess and I were right there with you, man. We were right there with you. I was having fun. I was in y'all's chat, man. Y'all were cracking me up. Oh my gosh. Hey, to the listeners, also, by the way, we like to watch and listen to our wrestling content. Don't forget to read about it too. Go to WrestlingNewsWorld.com, bookmark the page. A lot of talented writers over there. Like always, we always tell them, they've let us be the exclusive recap show for their website. We're so grateful, and you guys should support them. By all means, support those talented people. They work hard for little to no pay. Kind of like us.
Hey, fuck it, man.
Yeah. Kind of like us. How'd you think of what'd you think of Dynamite tonight, man?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I really, really did. I thought there was a lot to like there, a lot to chew on. Of course, with a night like tonight being that NXT was doing TakeOver, it's hard not to want to compare, because I mean, takeovers. I mean, me, I fucking love AEW, but God, NXT
they've never had a bad takeover.
Never. Like, their worst takeover is
still an exceptionally better show.
Yeah, like, I guarantee you that they put on a better show tonight. But so what? I still had fun.
Well, Dynamite still had their big moments, though. Dynamite definitely didn't leave their fans empty-handed. Obviously, we're not fatigued from a crazy show, but they did reward us for watching live with some couple big things. We had obviously Mike Tyson got physical tonight. I didn't think I'd
that
ever
was
see
crazy.
that. Yeah.
I never in a million years.
Chris Jericho delivered probably my favorite promo in recent memories.
Maybe the best promo this year so far.
Jesus, he eviscerated the Pinnacle and MJF. I'm gonna have a hell of a time trying to go through the beats in everything he said, because dude, I mean, it felt like he was on the
so
mic.
Much.
Yeah, it felt like he was on the mic for a solid 5+ minutes. Maybe I'll have to go back and see, but it was a long promo.
It was a while. It was a while.
It was good though. You know, he didn't meander.
Inner Circle firmly babyface now too, which
firmly.
Is dope.
Yeah, firmly babyface. Other than that, I mean, you had the main event, which was pretty good. And then a lot of little stuff sprinkled in there that we'll get to. So yeah, let's go ahead and kick off the show. So I did miss.
Wait, before we start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Happy birthday, Mama Crazy.
Oh yeah,
it is her birthday today, literally, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mama Crazy. Thank you for supporting the show. Always in the comment section on YouTube. You're the best.
Yes. I called her today. I talked to her.
Yeah.
So
I would have called her if I had her number. I would have.
She's a nice lady. She'd probably love to talk to you. I don't blame you.
Yeah, speaking of family, I've had mine over since Saturday. Had both my parents and my brother over. We're actually going to be shooting the early edition of Hammer's Lounge immediately immediately following tonight's show.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We're all going out to the bar. Tomorrow's the last night my brother's going to be here. They're leaving Friday, so we're going out tomorrow.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
So we're gonna do Hammer's Lounge tonight. Whenever our Dynamite recap goes off the air.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. Anyways, speaking of Dynamite, my internet was out pretty much the majority of Hangman Page and Max Caster's match. I got to hear the opening rap where who's Max Caster's acclaimed tag team partner?
Jesus Christ.
Anthony Bowen.
There you go. I can picture him. You know,
yeah. Bowen had to rip the mic out of Caster's mouth before he told Hangman Page to blow him, which I thought was a pretty cool touch. But
that was funny as hell.
Other than that, I missed the majority of the match. I imagine it was a pretty by the books match.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but it was entertaining enough, you know, and it did what it needed to do. I mean, they kept putting over that Caster was, I think they said third in the rankings, and Hangman's second, so he's like number one contender for the belt right now. So it was like they were putting that over on commentary the whole time.
Okay, that they're closely ranked.
Yeah, so the match actually had like some context rather than just two random dudes, you know. Which was, you know, whatever. I mean, it was cool flavor. It gave it more than just, you know, whatever. But like, I mean, I'll take Hangman on my TV every week. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so like,
fucking amazing, dude.
And I mean, I like the Acclaimed. You know what I'm saying? Like they've impressed me pretty much every time they've been on. I like them better as a tag team. I'd like to see that more than doing the single stuff. But it was still cool, you know.
I'll give the Acclaimed one thing. They do feel like they have a lot of potential. I think Bowen commands your attention when he screams on that mic.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I mean, Max Caster, he has just got one of the most punchable faces next to MVP. Or MJF, excuse me.
My jerk-off friend.
My jerk-off friend. We'll get to that. Now, one thing I did notice is I did catch the finish where Max Caster balled up the chain and struck Hangman Page, who managed to kick out clean with a 2 count. And then not too long after the kick out spot, he hit the buckshot lariat for the win. Celebrated in the crowd with some beers. Hangman Wisers. My question to you is, is AEW getting too comfortable with false finishes? It doesn't feel like there's not many protected finishers outside of like the one wing angel and maybe like Moxley's like paradigm shift, but it feels like guys can go through tables, eat these chain shots, and a lot of other finishers, and there's not too many things protected. Because I'll even say this, when I saw him clock Hangman with the chains, I still knew. I was like, yeah, Hangman's kicking out of this. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, I think they do get a little it's used a little liberally. They should probably cut back a bit. But I would argue that, like, yeah, I mean, you're right. The paradigm shift for sure is protected. You know, the rear naked choke that Moxley's doing is protected. I would argue probably that the buckshot lariat is pretty protected.
Yeah.
What else do we have? The move there, the Bucks, the tandem move. I can't remember
the BTE
what it's called.
trigger or the Meltzer driver.
Well, both of those really well. Not so much.
The BTE trigger's been kicked out of L1 before by Omega, but their Meltzer driver is protected.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to say, man, if there's any criticism, I love AEW, but there is room for some criticism. Is there needs to be a couple more things that put guys away, and I think a balled up chain on your fist should be one of them.
No, I hear you, and I know it was. I get what they were going for. Caster was playing the heel, doing dirty heel stuff, so it's understandable. But maybe instead of having Hangman get clocked in the head, have him,
just lose
counter
clean.
the punch or something. You know what I'm saying?
Lose clean or get a counter. Don't eat it, and because now you have your guy Max Caster that you just said was like number 3 or something, still kind of come off as a chump.
Exactly
when he's higher up in the rankings.
Exactly, but I don't have a problem with them doing the heel shit.
No. That doesn't bother me at all. I share the same criticism with a lot of Darby Allin's matches. Just getting like absolutely wrecked, and then always really the worst offender was him versus Cage, Brian Cage.
Yeah.
That one where just Cage would have had to have run him over with a bus in that match for Darby to get out, but. Anyways, yeah, small criticism here. So after this, we got a Death Triangle interview before it really gets kicking off because they're in the ring. Orange Cassidy still has the Pixies.
Yes, love it.
Theme song, loving that. He's flanked by Best Friends and Statlander, who is now part of the stable. Nice.
So happy to see her back. I think I'm more happy to see her back than I was Trent, or even that Orange Cassidy got the Pixies theme song.
Ooh.
Maybe not about the theme song, but definitely I was more excited to see her back.
She offers so much to the women's division where Trent, I love him to death. Best Friends haven't really had the best record as a tag team. Although as a trio, they kill it.
Well, I mean, the thing is that they kind of proved that Orange Cassidy could step in, not that I think that Trent is expendable, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's kind of a next man up kind of a vibe between the three of them, I feel like.
I mean, whose character's been the most strong? You have Orange Cassidy's character, you have Chuck Taylor, his whole thing with Miro, and then you have Trent, with Sue.
Yeah.
Which one of these stands out the most to you? I feel like it goes in that order.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, not hating on them. I think, honestly, they need to get trios titles, and those guys will be right at home. Cassidy confronts Death Triangle, talking about how it was about a year ago, like right before the pandemic, when Death Triangle first formed. They took out Orange Cassidy, beat him and the Best Friends down. So they haven't forgotten. So we got a feud there.
Also, last year at Revolution, that was Orange Cassidy's in-ring debut against Pac.
That's right. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, he took the L on that one, but it was a hell of a match. The crowd was going crazy for him.
Absolutely. Yeah, because everybody, like, he'd been on TV for months, it felt like. And he was, I mean, he did a couple things like he did the tope with his hands in his pockets and shit like that, and the kip up, and
appearing
stuff.
in like random like bathrooms during other people's like backstage brawls. Yeah.
So there were like little seeds, but that was the first time I'd ever seen him like legitimately wrestle, and it blew me away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. Death Triangle. Essentially Pac says like, you guys want a shot, too bad you're not getting one. Trent starts to speak. They're having some audio issues. They had audio issues a little bit in and out tonight, but he says look, we have more tag team wins than you guys, but we're not here to take your shot. We're just here to tell you the boys are back in town, and we have an alien now too.
I know. So good. Yo, I love that he called Statlander an alien. That was so dope.
Oh yeah, they stick to that. I really hope they get a trios title going.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, let the trios title.
I want the best friends in Death Triangle to like just fucking kill each other for it.
Yeah. Well, not to mention that could be your belts for Dark and Dark Elevation.
Absolutely.
Treat the trios titles how the women's tag team titles were supposed to be. And let them travel across all three shows, and that'll help bring viewers, to watch their favorite stables. In theory.
Also, yeah, in theory. Also, it's an easier way to build the younger talent, the lower card talent too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I'm all about it.
Well,
that
also
would be fucking awesome.
We have like 15 stables now. This will give stables more things to do. Instead of having just like, one or two of their people doing matches on Dark and everything, you can actually give like a purpose for keeping these stables on TV.
Yeah, and the trios belts have been rumored in AEW for a really long time.
Pretty much since AEW started.
Exactly. So like I feel like it's only a matter of time,
What do you guys think? Do y'all agree with me and Kev? Do you think we should have trios titles? Or do you think they're oversaturated, or that's like an oversaturation of belts? Let us know in the comments or hit us up on Twitter. Inner Circle came out. We got that promo from Chris Jericho. Forgive me while I try to cover everything Chris said.
Oh my God. This was probably the best segment of the whole goddamn night, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the matches were really good too, but like even the wrestling, holy fucking shit, this was so fire.
Yeah. So Chris comes out, Inner Circle, we're back in black, baby. He
looking
admits,
dope as fuck.
Admits that they've made mistakes over the last 6 months, including having my jerk off friend Chris Jericho shove that down our throat, trying to get
I saw a sign in the crowd that said Maxwell Judas Friedman, and that was fucking awesome.
It's a very
and it made me think of Rob, because he was always like, that was the thing he always liked to do, was pick out a sign in the crowd to shout out.
Hell yeah, man, we should make that part of the show. Make it a gimmick. Excuse me. Jericho kind of flips it on its head and says that actually bringing MJF in wasn't how it was perceived to be, which was, creating a stronger Inner Circle. He essentially wanted to use MJF for all of his talents and all of his assets until he had nothing left to give. What Jericho said they did not foresee was MJF being a step ahead. He acknowledged that MJF calling him stupid. He's like, yeah, we're not the smartest people. He kind of got like a little joke in there. I failed chemistry. Yeah. Who succeeds in chemistry anyways?
I thought it was hilarious.
But he then goes on to eviscerate like every member of Pinnacle. I'll try to run through some of the beats. He says,
Jesus Christ.
MJF needs to give up his scarf. That's something that Jericho did 5 years ago. He says, hey, while you're at it, there's a list backstage if you want to steal more gimmicks, fantastic. He said Tully was third string of the Four Horsemen. FTR are interchangeable. They're a great tag team, but he can't tell them apart by name, which I think is something that they have struggled, is they don't really have identities individually. you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of these have little truths to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said Spears aligning with MJF is just as bad a decision as rocking a blonde mohawk in 2021.
Oh,
and then,
bro, I can't tell you how much I popped for that because we literally talked about that, I think, last week or the week before. And I was like, thank you, Jericho, because that dude looks fucking stupid.
And then he then went on to say that Wardlow needs to strip naked in order to count to 21 because he's dumb. But the big thing...
He's seen him do it.
The big thing, though, that we took away from this, he got all fired up, said, you want blood, you want violence. Then May 5th, let's do blood and guts. This was something that was booked way back on March 25th of last year. But, of course, the lockdowns happened. It originally was set up to be Inner Circle taking on Cody, the Young Bucks, Dustin, and Matt Hardy. Of course, once again... Lockdown came. We kind of got the blow off through the Stadium Stampede, but instead of Cody and Dustin, we had Hangman Page and Omega, and it was billed as the Elite versus Inner Circle. I think that's kind of the way AEW pivoted from Blood and Guts, but I'm glad, they knew.
Oh, this is, thank God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. They're going to, this is a perfect time for that. This feud couldn't be hotter, and they've done nothing right now with it,
Yeah.
And now we have 2-3 weeks where they're going to be able to heat it up a little bit more.
About 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks.
4 weeks? Okay.
Yeah, Blood and Guts is definitely going to be their next marquee match. Now, did they say, was that on an episode of Dynamite? Hold on.
Yeah, I looked it up because I was
So is Dynamite?
Yeah, it's a Wednesday night because I was like, ooh, is that a Saturday or a Sunday? Because I was like, that might be Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
3, you know what I'm saying? So
nice.
Oh, Jesus, think about that. Double or Nothing 3's coming up here in a month. Holy fuck.
Heck yeah, man. What's your WrestleMania equivalent for their pay-per-views?
Oh. Well, they only have 4 of them.
Right.
A year, right? 4 or 5.
They have 4 and then a minor one. They'll do Fighter Fest or something.
Yeah, and then I this Blood and Guts, I would say probably falls into that category.
Yeah.
I mean either Double or Nothing or All Out, I would say would qualify. But I mean, I think you could make an argument for either one.
Which one was the one they held the Stadium Stampede at?
I think that was All Out, but I don't remember for sure.
Stadium Stampede was at Double or Nothing. So I think Double or Nothing is the WrestleMania equivalent. That's mine. It's kind of what I went by last year.
Well, the only reason why I say All Out is because at the first All Out, that was when they crowned the first champ.
And Moxley debuted too. One of arguably the biggest moment to happen.
Well, that was a Double or Nothing.
Was that Double or
Nothing?
First
Double or Nothing.
No,
yeah, because he came.
Still proves my point then.
No, but it's definitely
because he
DDT'd
Omega on the poker chips. That's right.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Exactly. After the match between him and Jericho.
Yeah.
Well, Jericho and Omega.
You can make the argument for both of them, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, but with such little content, pay-per-views and those kinds of ways, because I feel like that's a problem with WWE. It's just I feel fatigued a lot of the time, because it's just once a fucking month, and then sometimes, back when they were still doing the Saudi shows and shit like that, it's one 3 in a month sometimes.
You remember during the brand split, they had the brand exclusive pay-per-views. So you had pay-per-views 2 weeks apart. You had a Raw pay-per-view, then an off week, and then a SmackDown pay-per-view. So it literally felt like almost every other week was a WWE pay-per-view there for a bit going.
That's too much.
It was crazy too much. Yeah, they watered it down. That was probably the most they watered down the pay-per-views, and even now it's still watered down in their joint shows. It's crazy.
But I mean, in AEW, the reason why is like the pay-per-views feel a lot more special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Do you still think they deserve to get away? Not necessarily get away. That's kind of setting it up. Do you think that they still deserve a $60 price tag when people are so accustomed to a streaming service now?
I do think it's steep, but I mean, I don't give a shit about like supporting billionaires though either. So there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They haven't not delivered for me.
Very true.
Like, but yeah, I mean, I do feel it's a little steep. But then again, I mean, like I said, WWE gives us one a month.
Yeah.
And granted, it's only like $10 or whatever.
That's
it's
true.
Too much. It's too fucking much. All the time, and I could totally see paying like $30, $40.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
I think AEW's pay-per-views in today's landscape would be like $30 or $40.
Because I could see it being more than like the NWA or Impact pay-per-views. I would pay more for that, but yeah, like $60, $50, $60 is a little steep.
It's a little steep. Steep. Backstage, Christian's getting an interview. He talks about his previous week's match, says Frankie Kazarian took him to deep waters, but he loved it. He felt right at home. He says, and Frankie, they said the crowd was surprised at how well Frankie did. And he said, that's the whole thing about me. He's like, I make wrestlers who wrestle me level up, which, man, what a great way to hype yourself up.
That was cool.
It's pretty much, if you get a match against me, you're going to get one of the best matches that you get to put on, which is awesome. He's quick.
That was a good match too.
It was, man. It was
one of the best. I mean, at least, I'm not all that familiar with Frankie Kazarian, but definitely probably the best one-on-one match I've seen Frankie Kazarian in. Real talk. Like, I'm not even,
Yeah. I'm probably, I mean, yeah,
certainly in AEW.
Definitely his best and highest profile singles match since AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he has a big past. I'm sure there's been better singles matches, but what I know of him, I 100%.
Yeah, Christian's quickly approached by Taz, offers him a spot in Team Taz, and Taz just tells him, "Hey, look, think about it," and we're left with that, which is good. I like these non-oversaturated spots with these guys.
Gives you something to chew on.
Exactly. Yeah. Give us something to chew on a little bit. Perfectly put. Following this, we got the sponsored match of the evening, Godzilla versus Kong match.
Boy, JR could not have stumbled on his words worse.
Earlier in the night, the Godzilla versus King Kong match, and you could hear someone correct him. He's, oh, I'm sorry, Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla versus Kong.
And then but the best part was then he was like, "Hey, Shivani, did you hear that I'm excited about the Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong movie?" Like after they came back from break or some shit.
Yeah,
I thought it was kind of funny. I felt kind of bad for him, if I'm being honest with you. At first, I was just like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I know. It's
funny,
one of his classic blunders, the JR blunders, man. But yeah, it was obviously sponsored, and that's why they were very particular about how you labeled the match.
It was so on the nose, man. The advertising was it was like they couldn't say it enough times.
The only thing that would have been more cheesy is if they pulled like a Braun Strowman and played like King Kong and Godzilla sound effects in the background during the match.
I almost expected that to happen.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I want to though. I just actually I was actually talking to Katie about this. I resubscribed to HBO and I totally planned on watching it. And then I just my girlfriend and I, we fucking marathon that new QAnon documentary.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not even touching that one.
Well, it's not what you think. Let me put it that way. It's about how it came about, not so much about the politics of it.
I got you.
And it was actually really, it kind of reminded me almost of like Tiger King, just to how fucking insane people were and like the players and the game.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're looking for something to fill that slot.
Yeah.
Tiger King showed there is a slot to watch crazy, unhinged people in like a documentary style.
Yep. Well, and I mean, that's kind of the flavor of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, also all the political stuff too.
All of that tied in there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell the story of that stuff without that.
Yeah. I mean, I watched what was it, South Park, the vaccination special.
Oh Jesus!
And dude, they leaned. Oh my god, some of the stuff they did there. They didn't pull no punches in that episode. I'll just leave it at that. No, what I was gonna say, I watched the movie. It was it's good. It is like machine gun riddled with plot holes.
Of course.
But the action scenes, in my opinion, make up for it. But if you can laugh at how terrible a lot of the plot holes are, if you can just laugh at them, you'll have a fun time watching the movie.
Oh, I want to watch it with my son. I think he'd be really, really into it.
Oh, so. Dude, I haven't seen my kid get more riled up during the movie. Like, when Godzilla and King Kong first, like when Godzilla first appears, my kid was shouting like me in a Daniel Bryan match. It was like, yes! And just like, nice. I was like, oh, okay, so he does get riled up for some of these things. I got
That's perfect.
But back to the match. Jurassic Express took on Bear Country. This was a pretty decent match. There was a big botch in it. So the beginning of the match, you had Bronson of Bear Country controlling Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus gets a decent hot tag in there. Now there's a part where we try to get the Power Man spot where Boulder, I believe it is his name. Forgive me if I get that wrong, but he's got Jungle Boy held up in a powerbomb slot, and Luchasaurus comes off the top ropes in a cross body, and you can tell the guy was supposed to catch him and support both of them, but like any other human being, he failed to hold on to Luchasaurus, who kind of just like swatted against him and fell. And JR in commentary tried to cover it up, saying like that's how powerful he is. Luchasaurus just bounced off him even while he was holding Jungle Boy. So kudos to them for trying to fix it.
Yeah.
I was let down though, because like that would have been a hell of a good spot.
No, it would have. It would have. I think that they were kind of like, it was a risk reward kind of a thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, where it was like, well, fuck it, we'll try it.
This will put you on the map though. Like it was like, they'll run GIFs of this moment no matter which way it goes. If it goes good, people are gonna like, it's the most badass spot. If it goes south, it's gonna be used as like, look at AEW, like going too hard with the spots and botches and shit. But yeah, whatever. Kudos to them for trying.
With it. No, and the thing is that like I guess what I was gonna say was that it was more, I felt like even if it was, or it ended up the way that it did, it's like I think they had the commentary putting it over in their back pocket. So like that was worst case scenario, you know. And it wasn't bad, but it would have been a lot fucking cooler if he would have pulled that.
That's what I was like, man, if he had caught him, that would have looked like that would have been your moment. Like you would have your stock would have risen. Bear Country would have been put on the map. They'll probably go.
They're already compelling as far as I'm concerned. Especially in AEW with like, because they're bigger guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's one of the things. That's one of the criticism about AEW is they don't have the big fellas with the power moves, and so they're trying. You know, they're trying to get there. Bear Country continues beating up Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus gets in, gets a lot of kicks and powerful. Like he does a little mix of power and speed to take on both members of Bear Country.
Love Luchasaurus.
Yeah, at one point Luchasaurus is in the bottom turnbuckle seated, and Bear Country does this crazy running Death Valley driver cannonball into him. Dude, that move needs to be protected. Like that needs to be their finisher, because that was insane looking.
That should be the GIF. Yeah. By the way, speaking, because like I remember, I don't like, how do humans that size, how can they do that? Yeah. Like just
picture, two of Kevin Owens Like larger fellas, like Kevin Owens,
bigger than
Cannonball.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, now picture Kevin Owens,
Bigger than
Cannonball.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, now picture two of them that are bigger, like at the same time. It was such an awesome spot,
running at full speed and flipping and jumping all at the same time.
Yeah, it was good. There was obviously Luchasaurus was able to get. I think Jungle Boy broke up the pin. I
think you're right. I think that's what happened.
I don't think he kicked out of that
because they both. I'm pretty sure Bear Country, both of them like pinned Luchasaurus at that point, and then like Jungle Boy jumped on top of him. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
There was some good back and forth. Ultimately, though, Jurassic Express won after Luchasaurus hit a choke slam into a moonsault. Fun match, absolutely fun match. Little too much with the sponsorship of Godzilla versus Kong, but other than that, it was decent.
No, it really was. I had a lot more fun with this match than I did the Hangman Max Caster match, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And that I'm like no shade on those guys. I just this was just compelling. I don't know. And maybe it was their dumb advertising that they were doing. I got swept up in that and shit. But like
the poster,
I'm really,
man.
Yeah, right. But like Bear Country, like I said, they're really compelling to me. They're bigger dudes that are like they prove they're fucking athletic too. Like we were the bowling ball move or whatever the hell it was. Was just I never seen anything like that before, especially not with dudes that big.
Hell no.
And I mean, they kind of remind me of like a Heavy Machinery kind of a vibe,
and serious though, not
a lot more serious.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's not really too much of a comedic aspect to them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I'd love to see where they can go, and obviously we know Jurassic Express is the shit.
They're consistently solid. Yeah. Just like one win away from having a big push.
Oh yeah.
At any point they could like snap their fingers and put Jurassic Express in the tag team title scene, trio scene. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see the belts on them. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. That would
be the only way Gold's gonna get strapped around Marco's stunt. I'm sorry, that's the only way.
Yeah. Now I don't want to see Gold on Marco's stunt.
You'd have to though. You'd have to if they get the trios.
No. Just the tag belt.
Just do the tag team. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think of the Cutie Marshall debut promo for his squad?
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It was like probably like for QT Marshall, man. I was actually pretty impressed. I mean, you could tell that it was like pre-recorded or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, so what? I mean, it was
find what works, polished. Man. Find what works.
Yeah.
Highlight your strengths.
Yep.
Hide your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
They found a way to make Cutie Marshall, not saying like main event compelling, but they made him compelling. And oh boy, did they make a go-go look
absolutely
like $1 million in there. That is their ace up the hole as a go-go.
Uh-huh. I was just he came across as way cooler than QT did
than anybody else in the stable. Yeah. A go-go is really is what I remember the most.
Yep,
the way it was. So QT and his crew are in the Nightmare Factory, where obviously Cody Rhodes students all train, and he says, QT kind of, I'm not going verbatim, but he says, hiring me as a favor kind of left me dead in the water from the start. The way that you guys build me as Cody's friend and this and that, essentially you clipped my wings before I could even get a chance. It's kind of what he got around here. He also went on to insult Cody's WWE run. Said, you did everything you could. He talked about putting the face paint on his Stardust, but even as Dusty's boy, you wouldn't amount to shit. He said, but then you found what worked for you. He says, you surrounded yourself with vanilla midgets to achieve your success. Whew, scathing.
Yeah.
He went on to put over his stable, which is what you do. I missed the first fella's name. I know I hit it in the last show. But he said he wouldn't be referred to as he's not just someone's boyfriend, which I wasn't even aware that was a thing.
I didn't either. That was kind of strange for me too.
Yeah, he then went on to talk about Camacho is not going to be just another body guy, which Camacho has like that Otis potential. If that dude can pull a personality, man, he's already got a look. If he can have the personality go with himself, that Camacho guy, definitely has potential. He's
the dude that kind of looks like Captain Lou Albano, right?
Captain Lou Albano. Yeah. And then I forget who he reminds me of. I never can remember the guy's name. He's from Dragon Ball Z. He's got an afro.
Oh, fucking A. I know who you're talking about. I have no idea what his name is, but I know as soon as you said that, I went, oh my God.
That's he looks just like
exactly like that guy.
I found him. Hold on. It is Mr. Oh, it is. Okay, I didn't want to say the name because I wasn't sure, but yeah, Mr. Satan.
Yeah.
From Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, looks just like the guy.
Holy shit, you're totally right, man.
And then lastly, like I said, the guy we're putting over before says, and our mainstream fella is a go-go who takes the mic. He gets on the mic. He puts over that he's a mainstream boxer. He's known UK. Everybody in the UK follows him and cheers every punch that he throws. He talks about business and pleasure, and he says, I do Subway commercials for business. I knock people out for fun. I thought that was a pretty good
dope.
line.
I like that a lot. Yeah. That was dope.
And then that'll prevent a lot of people for probably pulling up, I guess he has Subway ads, and to use it to ridicule him. Because now he's already covered for it, you know? Which is good, man. That's having some good foresight there.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And then they proceed to say something along the lines that the Nightmare Factory's dead, and Camacho throws paint on the wall, but he didn't really have that much effort, and it felt like a limp, kind of like a limp little sign off.
Yeah, it was that was like the only part of the promo that didn't really land.
You needed to hit that paint aggressively, man.
Yeah, it was like, what was the point even in doing that? Like, it was like you made yourself look weaker from doing that.
I don't know. We'll see what Cutie does, though, man. We'll see what happens. I have high hopes for Agogo and Camacho.
Absolutely.
Cutie and I feel terrible, man. I'm sorry. I'll make it up on the next show. The other fellow that's in the
Alonzo
faction.
Reed? Was that Alonzo? Wasn't his first name Alonzo? Something?
I can't remember. I wrote it down for last week's show, but I deleted the notes. I feel terrible.
Oh well, fuck them.
No,
who cares?
No, I'll have it next week. I wish Katie was in the chat, but she's doing the NXT recap because she'd fix it for me in a heartbeat.
Whatever.
We had a quick Team Taz promo. I missed this one. Was this anything more than Brian Cage and Ricky Starks butting head?
Nope, it's exactly what it was. And then Taz stepping in and being like, "Hey, we got to get our shit together. We're trying to recruit Christian Cage," and that was the end of the promo.
Yeah,
that was literally all it was.
Yeah, okay. It felt like it was 20 seconds. Yeah, so I didn't think I missed much.
Nope.
What we can get after this? Oh, Darby Allin took on JD Drake for the TNT Championship. Drake, so far, out of the trio, out of him, Ryan Nemeth and Cesar Bononi, JD Drake looked good in the ring, man.
Yeah. He looked like was the Goonies there. The fucking that's what he looked like to me. Fucking like totally.
Yeah. Commentary compared him to Briscoe and Terry Funk as far as his style, meaning he's like no nonsense, hard hitting, nothing flashy from the fella, but everything, has a purpose.
Totally see the Briscoe comparison.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
During the match, Ryan Nemeth gets involved at one point, causes a distraction. This prompts Sting to come out, take out Cesar Bononi with the bat, chase Nemeth off. At that point, Darby's on the top rope. He flies off the top rope to the outside and eats a shoulder tackle that looked not fun to take. I will say that. No, did not look fun. From there, just hard hitting. It's kind of like by this point, I hate to say it, it's kind of like a by the books Darby Allin match. Darby ends up taking a lot of offense. I mean, a lot of his opponent's offense, making the opponent look tough. We see these just a lot of hard strikes, stiff. JD Drake works very stiff. Yeah, he hits a Vader bomb, which looked good. Darby kicked out of it. At that point, Drake tried to hit a moonsault. He missed. They're back on top of the ropes. They're slapping the piss out of each other until Darby actually catches Drake's hand in his mouth and starts biting him.
That was a weird spot. That was weird.
Yeah, that was interesting. But Darby ends up hitting the Avalanche Code Red and then a coffin drop for the victory. This makes him winning his last 11 matches in a row. As he celebrated at top of the ramp, Butcher and Blade jumped him. The Hardy family office. Not a fan of the faction name.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, I get it. It's dumb. Like, you're just basically supposed to think Matt Hardy's a total sleazeball, and I mean, they're
like any other
succeeding.
HF. Oh wait, what they're called HFOs though, right? I can't remember.
HFOs.
Like Oh no. It reminds me of the HOAs, homeowners associations.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like the vibe his goddamn faction gives me. Is he's part of like the homeowners association, and he's just kind of like a dick into telling like everybody how everything's supposed to be run, and then he also takes profits from them. So
yeah,
it just kind of gives me that kind of vibe, which is a weird one.
Well, yeah. Why else would all those people like hang out together unless they were like living in the same cul-de-sac or some shit? Like you got Butcher and Blade in private party. Like, what the fuck? Know what?
Really quick, and then we got the chat. The faction, however, is run off while by Sting and the Dark Order, saving Darby from a ton of punishment. At this point, Bunny though had made her way to commentary. She's cut off. She gets jumped by Tay Conti prior to their match, and this also set up a match later in the night. Matt Hardy is going to be taking on Darby next week. Joel Master 15 in the chat says, guys, would you rather take a chop from Walter or a botched Nia Jax leg drop? Where does Nia Jax land?
I would rather take a punch probably to my gut from Mike Tyson than take a Walter chop.
Yeah, that Walter chop feels like you'll have like nightmares from it, man.
I have nightmares just from watching him do it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's no joke, man.
Dude, you put up almost anything compared to a Walter chop. Yeah, I'll take that instead. I ain't taking a Walter chop. Pinnacle. They got a hold of Chris Jericho. Speaking of Mike Tyson, they got a hold of Chris Jericho.
Segway.
They locked the inner circle in their dressing room. Jericho's brought out to the ring and is beat down by all 6 members. To which case, Mike Tyson comes out and runs off.
Oh my God.
The whole squad, beats the piss out of Sean Spears.
Yeah. What was that? Does he have like a personal vendetta against Sean Spears or something?
I told you when Pinnacle formed, Sean Spears, he's eating those pins and beat downs. I'm sorry, man.
I mean, I hear you. You're right. But it was just like, holy shit, man. Mike, like, he literally like singled him the fuck out and was like, Sean Spears.
Yeah, you done.
You're taking this whole ass whooping. I don't give a fuck.
Inner Circle had to break out through their door, which you could clearly see the pre-cut out.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. But, yeah, they came out, ran them off. We had a cool spot. Mike Tyson, Chris Jericho buried the hatchet. I was kind of expecting like a DX moment. Mike Tyson to turn heel and just knock Jericho out again. But did not happen. Joel Master says, Nia lands on your nose. He's like, I'm taking the Walter chop. If you're stronger than me, man. Braver than me.
I'll take a broken nose over the Walter chop.
Yeah. I'll take a broken orbital. Jesus.
Well, yeah, that probably would be more of an orbital.
Yeah, that's probably what's happening. DMD, Britt Baker, interviewing
The
Oh, no,
swag
no.
of this motherfucker,
Dude,
Britt Baker.
she's a fucking star.
Oh my god! Like, the thing that's so cool about Britt Baker to me is to think about where she was like a year ago or a little over a year ago. It's just like I didn't get it. I didn't really like her that much, and now it's like I want her every goddamn week, and I want her promos. She's killing it in ring. Like, I mean, she's talking about wanting to compete for the fucking belt. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. So this is kind of what I took away from it. So she says in her pre-tape promo, she says, Tony, talking about Khan, give people what they want, a championship match for the Doctor. She says, I don't care about my rank. She says your title shots should be determined by star power, t-shirt sales, and key demo, which I'm at the top of every list. And then I think she says to tune into Elevate. I missed kind of what she's talking about there.
She said all three shows that they're having: Dark, Elevation, and Dynamite. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, because she was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get my wins up, and I'm coming for the title or whatever."
Got
so,
you.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing about what she said, though. There's a lot of truth to it. So far, Britt Baker's the only female T-shirt I've bought from AEW. So
I got Abaddon, but then again,
Abaddon's pretty badass. I should get that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I almost bought the same shirt that you.
Yeah,
did,
no, I impulse bought the bloody face one.
Oh,
and then I saw the new one. She's got a new one now with the DMD with the bloody face in the font. I was like, gonna probably fork over the money for that one too.
I might fork the money over for that.
Yeah.
That was dope.
No, I think I did get this feel though that I thought was pretty funny. I don't know if anybody else got that vibe, but her using her heel character to support kind of like WWE's way of determining title shots.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone made that connection.
Oh yeah,
She's
I
like,
totally did.
I'll be a WWE chick in AEW. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily the message, but I drew parallels between.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally got it. I picked up on that. I was like, because like it's true on some level. It's like, what do you want your champions to look like? They're winning matches, or just that they're making you money? I think was what she was trying to say, obviously. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's all that WWE does, but it's happened.
It's perfect
you
for
know
her
what I'm
character
saying?
to want something like that.
Yeah.
To make that argument.
Absolutely.
Ty Conti and Bunny had a match. Ty Conti was greeted to the ring by -1. Brody Lee Jr. Love to see that.
Yep.
It's announced that Bunny currently has an 81% win ratio, which means that she's secretly killing it as well. Conti's number 1 in the rankings, and I think Bunny is like a couple behind her. They end up having
I'm loving what Tay Conti's been doing lately. She has been on fucking fire, and I love it. I love it. Since the women's eliminator tournament, her shit's been so good. She has been like one of the top women in AEW as far as I'm concerned right now.
Yeah, that tournament elevated Britt Baker the most, but right behind her, I would say, would be Ty Conti as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's weird that what's her name? I think it was like Mizumura, whatever, that won. Here we are only like not even a month removed, and we're not talking about the woman that won the tournament.
Oh, Ryu
Mizunaki?
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. That sucks. She was fun too.
Well, she was on was on a couple Dynamites after that. I mean, who knows? It might be travel shit. I mean, she's Japanese, you know.
It's true.
I hope that's not the last we see of her, because she's fucking dope.
Was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
But anyways, these two girls, they have a match. It's pretty decent. Early on in the match, Bunny hit a suplex to Conti on the outside, did a running shotgun drop kick into the guardrail. That was pretty nasty. Yeah. Later on, Conti hits a tie KO. Bunny's manages to kick out. Afterwards, Bunny's on the outside. Cheap shot to
That's
Shida.
Another move, by the way, like we were saying earlier, that should be protected.
They do need
that is a fucking awesome finisher.
Well, I think that is meant to be. I think she's suffering from like the Baron Corbin thing, where she's got two moves that look like finishers. Because the finish of the match saw Bunny take a cheap shot at Sheeta, get a kendo stick. A brawl broke out between Dark Order and Matt Hardy's faction. Bunny hit a kendo shot to Tai Conti while the ref was distracted. However, Sheeta was able to make a save. Bunny got superplexed, rolled through to the DDT, which is essentially an arm lock DDT, and which is also a cool finisher. I think it should be the other way around, though. I think the DDT should be, or DDT, excuse me, should be the signature, and then the Thai KO. That, I mean, knockout's in the name. It's in the name, KO.
I know.
I know. Yeah, that should.
No, I hear you, but I think you're right. It probably is just the Baron Corbin thing, and I mean, whatever. They're going to protect one, and one will be your signature. You know, it's too bad that they decided that way.
Yeah, when they both could technically be finishers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
they're both dope moves.
Hell,
you know.
And by the way, if you guys don't know, we're referring to Baron Corbin's Deep Six and his End of Days. Both of those look like just badass moves.
Jesus, I would say the End of Days is probably the second most protected move in wrestling beyond the One-Winged Angel, honestly.
No, it really is. It's up there, man.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Like, I mean, I don't know if it's quite that much, but it's definitely a very protected move.
It is. No, by all means, yeah, it really is. Because everybody kicks out. Obviously, everyone kicks out of the Deep Six. I think I've only seen one or two matches finish with that. After the match, Brody Lee Jr. celebrates along with the rest of Dark Order. Commentary puts over that she's next up for Sheeta's belt. I mean, we've kind of known this because she's been number one contender for about 3 or 4 weeks. So they're finally acknowledging, like, hey, we need to get this next title shot going, which they're going to set up between two faces. So we'll have to see how that turns out. After this,
especially I feel like that this is almost like suffering from the same shit that like WWE's been doing with like their two big women's feuds right now, like with Asuka and Rhea Ripley, and then of course Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Like, why are they pairing the two together? I mean, I get that there's a lot longer to work on, you know, setting up a match between Sheeta and Conti. Like, they're putting over that she's the number one contender. Why is Sheeta like friendly with her? Why are they friendly with each other?
Well, because they're both faces. You know,
I know
they're both faces, and also because they both get jumped by the same people.
That's true.
You know, they haven't had time to build a rivalry because you have the likes of Britt Baker and Bunny attacking them every other week. You know?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm just saying, like, once just start building some goddamn animosity.
Yeah, because you're either going to rush a title match, which is going to have no stakes, or, you know, you're going to stretch this thing out too long. Yeah, I say get started on the rivalry. I just don't know how you would.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I get it, like a little bit, like especially like right at first, you know, when Bunny and all, she was fucking running rampant, being a crazy bitch. But now it's like, okay, let's move on. You know.
Got you. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you on that. Let's get this female feud going. I want some more eyes, and I want some more development in the title picture. Yep. You're doing good with some of these feuds. Your champion needs to be one of these people that has good stories for him. Next week, we get a preview of next week's. I actually wrote down the matches, Kevin, for next week's Dynamite. I know.
Look at you.
I know. So, as mentioned earlier, Darby Allin takes on Matt Hardy for the TNT Championship. Young Bucks take on Death Triangle for the Tag Team Championships. This part I'm not sure if it's Ogogo and QT with in-ring debut. So I'm not sure if they're tagging or you have Ogogo making his in-ring debut match and with QT Marshall in his corner.
Yeah.
Red Velvet. Oh. Yes, something you want to add?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Red Velvet is finally getting her match with Jade Cargill. Getting a rematch there.
Nice.
Chris Jericho with Sammy Guevara takes on Dax with Cash in his corner. The rest of with Mike Tyson as the special ring enforcer, and with everybody else from Inner Circle and Pinnacle barred from ring. So that's going to be your go home, or that's going to be your main event. That's interesting that it's Dax Harwood out of Pinnacle. I would have thought they would have used someone like once again Sean Spears or something.
Well, I think maybe they're trying to play on the fact that the Chris Jericho line in his promo when he was like, I can't even fucking tell those guys apart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe it's that, or maybe I'm just reading into it too much.
Maybe they need to work on taking out members of Pinnacle one by one.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that! Katie's done with her takeover recap, and she's in our chat. Hey, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Lastly, main event time. This one was a decent main event. You know what? It didn't. It didn't surprise me, and it did. I'll elaborate on that afterwards.
No, I hear you.
So you had the Young Bucks and Moxley with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, with Don Callis, of course, still on commentary. Commentary poking away at Callis. Was your intention to break up Bullet Club? Really putting it like that. The majority of this match, the storytelling, really centered around Matt. Sorry.
Yeah.
Matt and Kenny Omega. Matt Jackson.
Yep.
I don't know why I couldn't think of his last name for a second there. I don't know why. It was I don't know. Anyways, Omega ends up eating a lot of everyone's offense. So he's kind of taken out between all three of the members. And Matt Jackson in the ring with him just did not have what it took to put Omega away. He was refusing to super kick him towards the end. Nick Jackson's getting in there, trying to rile him up. Let's do the BTE trigger. They failed to do it. Moxley comes in, gets him in shape. They go to do the BTE trigger again. Still can't pull the trigger. So Moxley comes in, hits 2 paradigm shifts.
Nasty.
Starts choking out Omega. Goes for the 3rd paradigm shift. The Young Bucks super kick Mox. They just can't watch Omega, get absolutely destroyed. This allows, the heels to pick up the victory. Eddie Kingston tries to come out for a save. He eats a magic killer.
Hobbling his ass down there. Jesus Christ.
He's going to have to sell that ankle for a while, man. And then, so this allows the heels to pick up the victory. And then we do get an official heel turn when the Good Brothers pull up Moxley to eat another super kick. At this point, the commentary is talking about the Elite's back together, the Bullet Club's back together.
Yeah.
Young Bucks definitely in heel territory.
Yep.
The reason why this doesn't surprise me is I was expecting it, but the way it did surprise me was I didn't think they were going to tell a story in the match of the gradual turn. I thought it was going to be just premeditated.
Yeah. I hear you. I kind of like this better though. Honestly,
me too.
What I thought was
you got a good match out of it.
Mm-hmm. And it was, it still strung you along a little bit. There was still that sliver of doubt, but it was like,
because I was like, oh, the Bucks are hitting drop kicks. They're actually attacking them,
Yeah.
So
I was like, oh man, but I'm not surprised that the Bucks decided to align themselves with Kenny again. Absolutely not.
You saw it coming, man. The scathing promos Don Callis and Kenny was putting on the Bucks. Like, it's like they had to. It's like, one thing that I thought was pretty funny too, like a minor story beat to the whole thing, was in the beginning of the match. Once again, commentary was asking Callis, "This was your plan all along to split them up?" And then by the end of the match, they were asking the same question: "Was this your plan all along to have them turn?" I thought that was a nice touch, a little bit of storytelling there.
Yep.
So.
Like to think of Callis as like the puppet master. You never know. But he always has his hand in the pie, if you will. You know? So.
I thought they shrugged off doing the Bullet Club sign in exchange for a group hug. As the cameras went off. Yeah. But once again, a decent Dynamite. I got a feeling Takeover was probably a more impactful show. But nonetheless, like I said,
still AEW fun Dynamite.
AEW still rewarded its viewers, man, between the Chris Jericho, everything that's happening between Inner Circle and Pinnacle, Blood and Guts being announced.
Yup.
Mike Tyson throwing hands, and then the Bullet Club. Now, it is kind of weird that the Young Bucks started this out siding with Kenny and the Good Brothers, and then spent like 3 weeks like, no, you guys are too heel for us, and then just came right back. That, you could have, but it's just like one of those things. You figure this stuff out as you go along, you figure it out.
Yeah. Man. No, I mean, like I said, I'm not mad at it. Frankly, what I was going to say was I was surprised that the Bucks didn't align themselves with Omega sooner, if anything. You know what I mean?
But that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I feel like AEW has been trying to find a way to turn the Bucks heel. Because you remember when they were going against FTR, they spent a better part of a month just super kicking people and being dicks. And then people weren't feeling it, so they cooled on it. They claimed that the pressure was making them snap, and they went all babyface.
Sorry, my cat is down here and he's messing with me.
But then just to turn them now. So I feel like AEW has been trying to find a way to give a satisfying heel turn to the Bucks. It was just their initial go. They kind of was like, no, this ain't working. They pumped the brakes on it and did it this way. So
yeah. Because they super kicked Shivani at one point.
Yeah. Broke his cell phone. About that. They were just being dicks to be dicks, man.
Well, RN said that that was, I've never watched it. Yeah, like in when the Ring of Honor, they were apparently that's just
Yeah. If you get a chance to, the latest episode of Being the Elite's only 10 minutes long, but it kind of gives you enough context. Especially after how tonight turned out, because it does show clips of their independent days. Because it has them looking themselves in the mirror, which is what Don Callis told them to do. And it showed clips of their old selves being dicks and shit, So, I'm telling you, man, BTE really adds to the storytelling. Not everything is canon, but it helps, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I got a lot of video games to play.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, everybody, thank you guys for joining us. Please consider supporting us on patreon.com/SmackDraw Podcast. A lot of rewards there. T-shirts, stickers. Get videos of yourselves included on our episodes of UWO, which, by the way, the official announcement, we have a special 420 episode of UWO coming up.
How the fuck am I not on that?
Sorry, man. I'm still working on booking. Me? Still working on the booking. I have at least one person locked. Right now, the other two slots are kind of up in the air. I'm seeing how they play out. But yeah, make sure to tune in Tuesday.
A 420 episode.
Yeah, Tuesday, 9
How was I not your first goddamn call?
On 420.
You kidding me?
Hey, listen, just for the bad guys. Make sure to tune in and catch the bad guys. That's the only hint I'm dropping right now. But yeah, check us out on
420.
Get on Patreon. Like I said, one of our reward tiers will let you actually record your unpopular wrestling opinions, and we'll feature you on it. I want to thank anybody that was in the live stream and that also followed us tonight. You guys are awesome. But make sure to check us out. Like I said, Katie and RN are killing it with the NXT recaps. They will be back tomorrow recapping live NXT TakeOver Night 2 on twitch.tv/SmackDraw Podcast. Or you can catch Standing Streamer. He'll be over here on the Standing Streamer, or excuse me, I forgot to change the name. Putting You Over, of course, talking more wrestling, interviewing guests, streamers, badass. And then, goddamn, we have so much stuff going on. WrestleMania this weekend. It's going to be crazy, man. Everybody, buckle up. Until next time, y'all have a good one.
Buckle up, Buttercup.